Hey y'all, welcome in. In today's video, I need to do my hair, and I also just want to talk to you about cultivating and nurturing friendships in adulthood. First, we're going to talk hair, then we're going to talk spirit, soul, nourishment. So to start, I was so graciously sent these products from Bloom Elixirs. This is their Rose Water and Aloe Hydrating Shampoo and Detailing Conditioner. I used both in my hair, I want to say about like 5 days ago when I did my hair. And I love them both. I specifically honestly, I love them both. This is a clarifying and moisturizing shampoo, and it does just that. And this conditioner has so much slip. It makes my hair feel plush. Like it changes the texture of my hair. This is a very, very good product. What I like most about that combo is that they're real ingredients in the products. Like it smells like true rose water, not like a fake fragrance that was made for the product. I'm very happy with the ingredients in these products. And then to style my hair, I use the Marshmallow and Babasu Whipped Curl Cream and their Jasmine and Bamboo Curl Nectar, which is a soft hold styling potion. And I used that on these twists 4 days ago. I have been wanting to film this video literally for the past 4 days, but I'm really having to understand that it's not gonna be like the biggest and the best every single time I sit down to film. I just need to do my hair at this point. I just need to untwist my hair. So y'all are here in my bathroom. Welcome. Welcome to my sacred space, because that's exactly what this is, girl. Now I'm just gonna go in with one of my oldies. This is an old faithful, the Grow and Shine Oil Cocktail from Curl Origin. They actually changed this formula like a year or two ago, and I prefer the old formula, but it still gives a lot of shine. It's just like a little bit thicker, so the slip is just like a teensy bit less, but there's still a lot of slip. Now let's get into the chat. So something that has been on my heart for a while actually is just feeling worthy to have like nourishing friendships as an adult. I feel like so much of what happens to us when we're young informs how we respond to relationships as we grow older. And if you don't check that, or like just check in with your reactions to things and like why you think things, even how you think others think about you, like where does that come from? You know what I mean? And through this pregnancy, when I tell you, I understand what people mean when they say they have a baby and it heals them. I understand that. I don't think you should be having babies to heal, but you go through so much, and you can either choose to like allow it to help you grow, or you can choose something else. I spoke about in my life update video about how my pregnancy was high risk. And a big part of me like caring for myself throughout a high risk pregnancy was being in community with other pregnant people, and like being in a support group with women who understood like the day-to-day anxieties, or like just who could hold space for me as I navigated my ups and downs. And it was very healing for me to hold space for people as they navigated their ups and downs. And now that I'm 14, almost 15 months postpartum, and I'm still connected to all the women who saw me through my pregnancy, and I'm seeing us all like go through different stages, I'm realizing how so much of friendship is like holding space and grace for people to be different versions of themselves. And I don't know if we're taught that, or if that's something that we're really like honing in on in today's culture, but we just have to have a talk about this. Like we have to have a talk about womanhood, cultivating healthy relationship, nurturing that relationship once you cultivate it, because it's like a plant, you know, it's like a garden. Like you can't plant seeds and then never water them, never weed them, never tend to them and expect them to be healthy, thriving plants. I've been with my partner for 12 years, I want to say. I don't know, girl, I always forget. 12 years. But in that time, I've been so many different versions of myself, and he's been so many different versions of himself. I mean, we were 18 when we got together, you know what I mean? I have such a heart of gratitude for my husband for accepting me in allowing me to move through my phases with like no questions asked. I feel like a narrative I hear a lot, especially in this younger generation as we're becoming older, is like once people reach certain points of transition, you just stop being friends. And you know when people say like people get married and then they just like poof disappear, or you have a baby and then poof, now your friends aren't even your friends anymore. I don't think that's the case. I really think things have seasons and have phases. And if you want to nurture like long-term relationships, you have to be able to accept that and like hold space for that, and know that if you don't hear from your friend for a few months as she's going through a certain season, it doesn't mean she doesn't like you. It doesn't mean she hates you. It doesn't mean that that thing you said last time y'all hung out together offended her. She just might be going through a season of isolation or a season of solitude, or just growing and having to pour more in one area of her life so that she can kind of like get a good standing there. Like when you are newly married, you kind of have to give a little bit more energy to that sector of your life so that you can get it up and running, cultivate the garden, you know, and then once you have a handle on it, you can kind of ease off of it and focus on other things. If it wasn't someone that was supposed to be there through different seasons, fine. But the people who are supposed to be there, the people who are your people, like your soul family, like you have to cultivate a certain self-assuredness and a certain level of like security within yourself to allow them to navigate the seasons they need to navigate to become the person that they're supposed to be. As a healthy friend, you should want that. You should want that for your friend. Like right now I have a friend, she might be watching this, who's navigating a life transition. I'm not going to speak too much on it. She's navigating a life transition, and like her energy capacity is definitely different. And I, as her friend who loves her and I want to be, you know, there for her when she comes out of this season, I just have to accept that. Like, I just have to accept it. With that type of connection and relationship, there's a certain level of healing you have to do within yourself to simply not be triggered by changes in the relationship. Yeah, girl, that's important. Like being able to not using your friends as a crutch, not using your friends to like fill a void within yourself, truly cultivating friendships because you enjoy that person's energy, because that person synergizes with your own energy and you both are reciprocally you both are reciprocal in pouring into one another. Again, it's not going to be even Steven in all phases, but like over the course of the relationship, you're both pouring into one another. Sorry if this is all over the place. I have like an idea where I'm going, but I don't have an outline. So, you know, we're just flowing. I just feel like my framework of what friendship looks like is really changing as I go through more life experience and as I see how much of a blessing and how truly invaluable, like, and rare it is for someone to just appreciate your energy. And with that, right, in any relationship, there's going to come a time when there is a little bit of friction, and how you respond to the friction really speaks to your character, where you are in your healing. It speaks to how secure you are within yourself. And again, like, if you want to cultivate long-term relationship, you have to develop a tolerance for that friction. You have to develop a healthy way of working through the friction. And oftentimes I feel that it's best to develop that way of working through conflict before it even arises. With friendship, for some reason, it just seems we've been taught that they're more disposable than your romantic relationships. When, like, no, baby, friendships are so important. It is very important. Again, being pregnant taught me it is very important to have people outside of your romantic partner that you can speak to, that you can lean on. Like, expecting one person to give you everything that you need in community is a lot for them to carry. And it's a lot for you to carry. I feel that it's just as important in friendship as it is in your romantic relationships to work through conflict in a healthy manner. So like within my romantic relationship, we have certain boundaries for when we're upset. We have a framework of how we address conflict. We have like a culture built into our relationship of navigating when one person is feeling like they need to talk about something or just things aren't copacetic. And in friendship, I feel like the same is necessary. Like, truly, come on now. It really is. This year, I really was thinking to myself, like, wow, I need to speak to my friends about what we would do if there was conflict. Like, how should we handle it? Like, what's your love language? How do you like to have tough discussions? Do you prefer text? Do you prefer FaceTime? Do you prefer in person? Like, should I give you space? You know, everybody is different. Like, for me, I like to address things like right away. Like, give me about like an hour or two. Let me get my thoughts together and boom, let's talk about it. And some people, it's like, no, give me a few days and then let's talk about it. What I'm basically trying to get to is that friendships aren't this thing that just happens. You have to intentionally work at it. You have to put the time in to get to know the person through all their sides and facets. And then you also have to be open to that changing at the drop of a hat, because we're evolving and we're growing, and that's a beautiful thing for the change to happen. How's the hair looking? Now, this is 4 days worth of twists. So I feel like it feels deeply moisturized, like very, very moisturized. The definition isn't as much as I was expecting. Like, I feel like if I fluff it, it's gonna frizz out, so I'm not gonna fluff it too much. But yeah, it just feels very moisturized. It feels heavy. Do y'all remember, like, back in the day when they were having that conversation around low maintenance and high maintenance friends? And at the time, I was a low maintenance friend, okay? I was very much, girl. We'll talk every once in a while. You can text me out the blue and we'll get back to it like we never stopped. But like a very consistent, we're talking multiple times a week, like we're going out multiple times a month. That has not been me. And I thought for a moment like something was wrong with me. Like, why don't I, you know? And I'm now more of a high maintenance friend, which I love that for me. I really, really do, because the healing works, okay? And one, I feel that I was in a place where I did need that solitude to heal, like, so that I wasn't carrying out untrue beliefs about myself and about others onto others, like inflicting that onto people. But two, I think at a certain point you do have to leave the solitude of your own company and like enter into community. And I had never been in a community where it was safe to be openly healing or openly going through something, knowing that you'll have like true and genuine care, support, and like spiritual nourishment, like people praying for you, people checking in with you, people who know your taste and know how you respond to things and who can like tailor their delivery to what you need in moments of vulnerability. And through being in a pregnancy support group and now a postpartum support group, I have experienced that. I've received that from others. I've given that to others. And that allowed me to heal on a different level. It allowed me to change a lot of my beliefs around like what's possible in relationships. And I think a large part of that too is like choosing the people that I was around and not necessarily trying to make this dynamic work with people who just have always been in my life, or who in past seasons of myself I've like chosen to come into my life. And I think that now in adulthood, I'm really grasping the fact that I can choose. I can choose the type of energy and people that I connect myself with. There are people out there who get it, you know? There are people who get it. I just need to put myself in a place to connect with those people. I need to believe that they're out there, and I also need to believe that I'm worthy to be around those people so that I can make space and room for those that can, will, and would love to. And the would love to piece is like truly how I healed within community. Like truly being around people who genuinely care is like life-changing. It's life-changing. So now that I'm re-entering the world as a postpartum mama, I am being very intentional about where I'm picking up friends and like cultivating the relationship, being intentional about that piece too. So how I'm doing that is I have been going to little like hobby groups around my area, things that I'm interested in, because that's something I'm calling in. I really would like to be friends with people who are interested in some of the things I'm interested in. I just never been intentional about choosing friends. It kind of was just like, oh, whoever you meet, whoever you run into, maybe you'll have a connection, maybe yada, yada, yada. No, I'm intentional right now. I am attracting and calling in people who have hobbies, people who read, people who like plants, people who love pottery, like people who are into the vibes, okay? Meditation, yoga, like that's what I'm calling in. So the way that I'm doing that is I've been going, well, I went. I went to this craft club this past Thursday. I'll put a little footage in here, but I went to this craft club where like all the craft girls were out and they were doing like their coloring, their knitting. I'm a knitter, so that was cool. People who like make little gem collages, like just all the crafty girls were there, and it was nice to be around people who like the energy was just so open and pure and sparkly and lovely. And it kind of reminds me of like, when sometimes people will go looking for a partner, and it's like, who you meet at the club is going to be different from who you meet at like a business convention, or like who you meet at a church, or yada yada. It was given that. It was like high quality. This is a comforting vibe. I like these people, you know what I'm saying? When I go to the library, I'm always very communicative, very open, because my bestie might be in there in the stacks looking for her next book. I personally feel like there will be seasons in friendship for it to be low maintenance and high maintenance. Low maintenance, high maintenance, no matter what you are, like you're still a friend. You're still a person. We all have our ebbs and flows, and it's really not taught that like being in long-term relationship with someone is letting go and allowing them to just flow and become all the different versions of themselves that they are meant to be throughout this life experience. Your friend could be 1,000 different versions of herself, and you know what I mean? So you can't really you can't cling too tightly to one version or one way that your friendship is, because then it doesn't feel good. You don't want your expansion to be stifled and suffocated and like snuffed out just to maintain relationship with anyone, like anyone. It makes me happy when the people around me become different versions of themselves, try different things, set new boundaries. Girl, please. Do it. It teaches me. Like when my friends set boundaries with me, I love it. I'm like, ooh, okay, girl, I felt that. You better put yourself first. Like, and it allows me, it shows me that I can do it too. It shows me that I can choose myself too. For example, this is how you know. Oh my gosh. Okay. I have been wanting to connect with people, but it can be difficult with a toddler because my whole day revolves around his nap schedule and feeding him. And like, honestly, sometimes by the time we do all of that, I'm just pretty much tired. Driving somewhere is like the last thing I want to do. So I've had 2 little dates, friend dates that I had planned where I had to be like, hey, actually, can we do like a Zoom? Are you okay with that? Just kind of because meeting in person was just not in the cards for me. And one of the friends that I did that with was like, I'm so grateful that you said that, because it showed me that I need to be more willing to like think about what I need when I'm meeting with other people, and not feel like I have to push myself and press myself to do what I can't do, spread myself too thin to, meet their expectations. That type of request isn't taken as like a bad thing. It's a good thing. I want you to feel good when we're speaking to one another. I don't want you to be frazzled and depleted and like betraying yourself just to meet with me, because that doesn't feel good. On your journey of cultivating healthy friendship, it is going to hold up a mirror to you and reflect back to you like what you need to work on. There have been times when a friend set a boundary with me and I was like, oof, that hurt a little bit. Why does it hurt? Like, let me investigate that, because you're just doing what's best for you. And as your friend, shouldn't I want that? I've had to become more comfortable with like people doing what's best for them and That's where that self-assuredness comes in. That's where that own self-confidence comes in. That's where that emotional regulation comes in with like, okay, we can just adapt and let's figure out something where we both win, not win. Let's figure out something where we both are able to have our needs met and not just one person, you know, gets to feel good and the other person has to sacrifice. Those are my musings on a friendship. I hope that makes sense, girl. I really do. I really like my hair. It's so fluffy and like, I don't know, it just feels so healthy. That's really what I got from these two products the most, the conditioner and the curl cream. I feel like if I use this consistently, like the health of my hair would improve because it just feels so good. It just feels so good. So I'm gonna leave a link for the products that I used on my hair down below. I would love to hear y'all's thoughts. Like, where are you in your friendship journey? If you're not currently in a place of more deeply in community, if you're in a place of solitude, sound off in the comments because I understand what that's like. I feel like I was in that place for literally years. And if you have any tips for cultivating and nurturing healthy, respectful, like just soul family, leave that down below too, because that's where I'm at now. To anyone who's like currently going through their own healing journey, they're really releasing things that no longer serve them and they're looking on the horizon towards hopefully receiving what they truly want and desire and need. Just know that it's possible. It takes action on your part to put yourself in the place where those things can happen, or just taking divine and aligned action is important. But you can have something that you've never experienced before. You just have to keep pushing toward it. So yeah. All right, you guys, I love you. I'll see you later. And again, in the comments, let me know. Bye. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.